We'll call to order the May 22nd, 2024 meeting of the Louisville Jefferson County Metro Solid Waste Management District Board. Welcome, everyone. Pete, we'll begin by doing approval of the minutes. I hope everybody's had a chance to review the minutes. Did you say we do have a quorum? Pete?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to do the approval. We didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, if everybody's had a chance to look at the meeting, the minutes, does anybody want to move approval of the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. We have a motion to approve and a second. Is there any discussion, any changes to the meeting minutes, any addition to the minutes? Okay, hearing none, we'll just call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes of I'm getting feedback here, Pete. Is that bothering anybody else?
I can hear it.
Okay. Anyway, we have an approval, a motion and a second to approve the March 27th minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. Next item is the budget report. Pete, are you ready?
Yes, sir. So budget report, what I would say is that we are currently running well above on our license fees. We're at 110%, which is good. Still a little bit low on our recycling receipts. Still have some more of those coming in. I don't anticipate much more revenue for this fiscal year. We have about a month, but most of our license fees have been paid. That would hit for this fiscal year. So we've done well. We're over where we thought we would be. So that's good. As far as expenditures, we're doing pretty well. Totally, we're at 61% of estimate. I would say that we probably have about another 60 to 100,000 to hit our expenses in the next month. So we're going to end up probably somewhere with an excess of around 400,000. I will say that landfill transfer station license fees are definitely up. I think everyone has had to increase their prices. So this is driving some of this. So not totally to be not totally unexpected. So as far as any expenditures over 5,000, we have the Emerge Technology Design, which is the retract that we approved, I believe, in the last meeting. We have our first field trip, which is the anti-litter campaign. We have the 2 Huntington Bank. Those were lease payments for the front load truck in exchange for doing the pop-up drop-offs. Other than that, we don't have anything that's a big surprise. So I'm willing to take any questions that anyone may have. Remember, I did send out a more detailed package with my email earlier this week.
What, out of curiosity, what's Kentucky Correctional Industries?
That is we utilize them for printing. I think it's correct me if I'm wrong, Karen, but I think it's the prison that does printing. Am I right on that, Karen?
I believe so. And it's the Recycle Right program tags specifically that they print for us.
Are there any questions from board members about the budget report? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Pete. Next item, Correspondence?
Yeah, we received a email correspondence from Sandra Leonard. Sandra is the Jefferson County League of Cities appointee to the advisory committee. And more or less, I'm not sure if she's here tonight.
I'm here.
Oh, Sandra, do you want to basically say what your email was about? And
Well,
I
I'll
think
tell
it-
you
I think it's great.
why I did it. We all tend to see people in the light that we interact them with. And I had an opportunity recently to see several of Karen's educational things. One was at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. And that's the picture you've got in front of you. It was about food waste. And I sat in the back of the room just because I wanted to watch faces. Nobody was bored through the entire thing. The questions were very intelligent. And I'll tell you what impressed me the most was in the different things I've seen Karen do, she tailors what she's going to say to the audience. She doesn't regurgitate the same thing every place she does it. And I know that bosses don't always get to see their employees in action. And that's why I wrote the email, because I thought Pete needed to know that Karen does a very good job.
I can tell you that I already know, Sandra.
I know, but you need to know other people notice.
Yeah. Karen, don't be listening too much. Won't be able to get that out of you the rest of the month.
Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandra, and thank you very much, Karen. We appreciate what you do and what your whole staff does.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit more on what Karen's doing out there later on in this, the PowerPoint in the meeting.
You have 2 action items on the agenda this evening.
Yes, sir. First one is going to be a funding request for to pay for the shredding services at our pop-up drop-off events. Traditionally, we engaged Metro Council districts for this funding. Number one, the biggest thing was to get them involved, to get them to want to help promote. And I believe that we did that. It's usually about 16,000, but we're all the time having to work through all these processes to get those funds and the way it's paid. And it can be a little bit cumbersome, but I think it's more cumbersome on the districts to be able to do this through the system. So they have asked that this be funded otherwise through the different than the council districts. And I'm, $15,000 is or 16,000 is not that much, but the one thing that we did not want to miss out on is their involvement, and that's our ask back to them, but not just for supporting these events, but also to promote our messages through their newsletters and stuff. So we're hoping that we can springboard our interactions with them even to a higher level by taking on this expense. And I think it makes a lot more sense. Plus, they know what the Waste Management District is about when we're out here doing these types of things. So I think that only helps us down the road in other situations that we may come across. So the other part of this is that we've had a plan for quite some time, and it's in the 5-year plan that we adopted, was to look at providing shredding services at our drop-off sites. And we started to look at our first site and to see what kind of layout we can do. And one of those things that we're looking at is putting in a heavy-duty document shredder. Anybody can go 5 days a week, have to be limited to residents only, not businesses. And, that way, because it is one of the most popular services that we offer at these events. So we'll be hopefully putting that out there before too long. But what I would ask is that the board approve us to have a $16,000 expense. That's for the full year to provide shredding services at our pop-up drop-offs. Take any questions that you may have.
Any questions? This is a budget item, so it will require action and approval by the board. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'm not sure who that was.
Deb- Debbie Thompson. I'd like to make a motion that $16,000 that Pete has recommended the at the pop.
Did you hear that, Pete?
I did. I got that.
Okay. We have a motion to appropriate $16,000 as annual cost for shredding at the pop-up drop-offs. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion by board members? Second. Okay. I'm sorry. By board members. I'm sorry if I'm every once in a while I get feedback of my own voice. And if I don't watch it, I try to answer that. I'm sorry about that. We have a motion and a second. Pete, would you call the roll?
Yes, Deborah, can you turn on your camera?
Can you not hear me?
I'm feedback of my own voice. And if I try to answer that, I'm sorry, but the motion and Pete, would
Yes.
Did
I
you
think
hear
we're in the
that?
matrix here.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was. Why is it
It's
on?
okay. I think we're hitting a glitch in the matrix here. It seems like playing over and over again. So Sean Killeen,
Is it on?
Yes.
Bob Schindler,
Yes.
Carl Brazley,
Should
Carl
be on.
sent in the chat that he's having problems and can't unmute. So.
Hmm.
we technically, okay, we're hitting a glitch in the matrix here. It seems like so
Voting
Yes.
yes.
Bob Schindler,
Yes.
Carl Brazley,
Carl sent in the chat that he's having problems and can't unmute.
Deborah Thompson. Technically, okay. One more try for Deborah. Okay, Bob, if you can hear me just once, I think that Deborah Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, we do have a yes. Deborah, if you can hear us, try to get your camera on if you could. At this point, I'm not sure that we could necessarily move
Yeah.
forward with action items unless Deborah can get her camera on. So we can continue the meeting as is and come back to a action item if we can get good connection. Not sure what's happening here.
Pete, on my little scroll screen at the top of the page with everybody's picture, it says Debbie Thompson. Of course, there's no picture of her, but it says unverified. Does that help you any?
No, I don't think so. You're actually unverified as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think for this to be a legal meeting, she has to be on the screen, doesn't she?
That is correct. So if we want to move forward with other items, and hopefully this will start to clear up. I don't know if this is, I would imagine that this is a WebEx issue. We get periodic
Yeah, I think
notices that things are bad.
Okay, well, I guess if we're having this issue, then we shouldn't do the second action item because we don't have Deborah on the screen. Let's just wait. If I guess the appropriate thing to do with that is if this doesn't straighten itself up, we won't come back to that. We'll have to move that to next month's meeting.
Yeah, there was a suggestion that Deborah and maybe Carl, Carl can't speak at this point, if you all log out and try to log back into the meeting. I'm not sure that that's the issue because it seems to be everyone. That's the because it seems everyone. So, Bob, do you want me to? Do you?
I'm sorry, Pete, you broke up. I'm sorry.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you, Deborah. Can't see you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Can't.
I went. I'm not sure what else I can do to the camera. But I did have to update WebEx to get into this meeting.
Well, that may be the issue that we have is there's updates that are going on.
I know on my phone, I got a second WebEx app. I don't know why. When I was on my phone, there's like two options. So Deborah, I don't,
there's WebEx and there's WebEx meetings. You want WebEx, not WebEx meetings.
Yeah, I also had to update.
WebEx, not WebEx.
Okay.
Yeah, I also had to update. Well, I kind of hate to pull the meeting off, but I don't know if this is working. Pull the meeting off, but I don't know if this is working.
Yeah, I'm not able to do anything here. I'm trying to get it up on my phone, but I'm not sure which button to push.
Yeah, and
Well, I
Bob,
think that
everything that you're saying is repeating for me.
It's repeating.
there was a suggestion to
there's Deborah's face
Stop.
for a second.
stop the meeting and jump back on at 6:05.
face.
Stop.
for-
Meeting and so
Sure. Oh, there I am.
I would support that, Pete.
Yeah, I think that might be the only, because this is not straightening itself out. That might be the best thing to do is just close the meeting. Do you need to send out another email to try to start a new meeting?
I was,
Yeah, I think that might be the only, because this
I will send out a new.
in itself thing to do is just close the meeting. Do you need to send out another email to try to start a new meeting?
Yes, I will do so.
All right.
We'll send
Perfect. See you guys in a little bit.
Hopefully.